A strange thing is happening to people in their 30s. They're earning more than ever, $80,000, $100,000, even $120,000 a year. And yet, somehow, many still feel completely broke. Paychecks vanish, bills pile up, and saving feels impossible. So what's going on? Why do so many people with good jobs still feel like they're barely staying afloat? If you know someone in their 30s who feels like they're doing everything right, but still struggling financially, this video might explain exactly why. Before we jump into the reasons, comment down below. Do you feel ahead financially, behind, or exactly where you thought you'd be in your 30s? I'm curious to see what most people say. Now let's break down the 10 reasons people in their 30s feel broke even with good jobs. 10. Lifestyle inflation. One of the biggest reasons people feel broke in their 30s is something called lifestyle inflation. This happens when your spending increases as your income increases. So imagine someone in their early 20s making $35,000 a year. They might live with roommates, drive an older car, and keep their expenses relatively low. But then they get a better job. Now they're making $70,000. Suddenly, the apartment gets nicer, the car gets upgraded, they start traveling more, eating out more, and buying better clothes or gadgets. And none of these things seem unreasonable individually, but together, they slowly increase your monthly expenses. Before you realize it, your lifestyle has expanded to match your income almost perfectly. So even though your salary doubled, your savings didn't. And that's why many people feel like they're running in place financially. 9. Student loan debt. Another major reason people in their 30s feel broke is student loan debt. For many people, their 20s were spent getting an education and starting a career, but that education often came with a large price tag. Many graduates leave college owing tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. Some owe much more than that. And the problem is that these payments don't disappear when you turn 30. A lot of people are still paying them off well into their 30s or even 40s. So every month, a big chunk of their paycheck goes straight toward loan payments. That money can't be invested, it can't be saved, and it can't be used to build wealth. So even if someone is earning a decent income, the debt can make them feel like they're constantly playing catch-up. 8. Housing is more expensive than ever. Let's talk about what is usually the biggest expense in any adult's budget: housing. Over the past decade, housing costs have increased dramatically in many cities around the world. Rent prices have gone up, home prices have gone up, and interest rates have made mortgages more expensive. For many people, housing now takes up 30 to 40% of their income, sometimes even more. That leaves far less room for saving, investing, or building financial security. And when one single expense takes up that much of your income, it can make even a good salary feel tight. 7. Inflation has raised everyday costs. Another factor that has quietly made life more expensive is inflation. Over the past few years, the cost of everyday necessities has increased significantly. Groceries cost more, gas costs more, utilities cost more, eating out costs more. Even small things like subscriptions, streaming services, and apps have slowly added up. And the issue is that wages often don't increase as fast as these prices. So even if someone got a raise recently, their actual buying power might not have improved much at all. That's why many people say something like, "I'm earning more money than ever, but somehow I feel poorer." Because when everyday expenses increase across the board, it slowly eats away at your income. 6. Debt from multiple sources. Student loans aren't the only kind of debt people carry in their 30s. Many people are juggling several types of debt at the same time: car loans, credit cards, personal loans, student loans. Each one may seem manageable on its own, but when you combine them all together, the monthly payments can add up quickly. And when a large portion of your income goes toward debt payments, it creates a situation where your paycheck is already spoken for before you even receive it. That can make financial progress feel extremely slow. Number 5. Social media pressure. Another reason people feel broke today has less to do with money and more to do with psychology. Social media has completely changed how we compare ourselves to others. You open Instagram or TikTok, and suddenly it looks like everyone is traveling, buying houses, starting businesses, or driving luxury cars. And when you see that every day, it creates the feeling that everyone else is doing better financially than you are. But what social media rarely shows is the full story. It doesn't show the debt behind the expensive lifestyle. It doesn't show financial stress or struggles. It only shows the highlight reel. And constantly comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel can make even a stable financial situation feel inadequate. Number 4. Not enough savings. Another major reason people feel broke is surprisingly simple. They don't have enough savings. Many financial experts recommend having an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses. But a large number of people don't even have enough saved to cover a single unexpected emergency. So when something unexpected happens, like a car repair or medical bill, it creates immediate financial stress. Without savings, even small setbacks can make someone feel like they're one step away from financial trouble. Number 3. The cost of starting a family. For people who choose to start families in their 30s, the financial responsibilities increase even more. Raising children can be expensive. Childcare, healthcare, school supplies, clothing, and food all add up quickly. And childcare alone can cost thousands of dollars every year in many places. So even households with 2 decent incomes can suddenly feel stretched thin. It's not necessarily that they're earning too little money, it's that their responsibilities have increased dramatically. Number 2. Major life milestones happen in your 30s. Your 30s are often the decade where multiple major life events happen all at once. People buy their first homes, they get married, they start families, they try to advance in their careers, and every one of these milestones comes with significant financial costs. Buying a home requires a down payment, weddings can cost thousands, raising children adds long-term expenses. So this decade becomes a time where financial pressure increases in several areas simultaneously. That's why many people in their 30s feel financially stretched, even if their income is decent. Number 1. Feeling like you're behind. And finally, the number 1 reason people in their 30s feel broke is actually psychological. They feel like they're behind where they thought they would be. Maybe they imagined owning a house by now. Maybe they thought they'd have a large savings account. Maybe they expected their career to be further along. But life doesn't always follow the timeline we imagine in our 20s. Unexpected events happen, economies change, costs rise, and sometimes our expectations simply don't match reality. But the important thing to remember is that financial success usually happens slowly. Most people build wealth over decades, not years. Consistency matters far more than perfection. Final thoughts. The truth is, feeling broke in your 30s doesn't mean you're failing. In many cases, it simply means you're living through one of the most financially demanding decades of your life. The people who eventually build wealth aren't the ones who never struggle. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos about money, investing, and financial freedom.